What's up, people? Today we're going to talk about multi-step equations. We're going to amp it up a little bit more. So drink your coffee, or go get you a Coke, or maybe an energy drink. Wake up, sunshine. It's time to talk about multi-step equations today. Giddy up, giddy up, giddy up, let's go. All right, that's some of my favorite lyrics. If you know that song, you can send it to me later. We'll play a little bit more here in just a second. All right, so today we're going to go from only just two-step equations. Today we're going to amp it up and we're going to go to multi-step equations. So we're going to bring in some of that stuff about distributive property and combining like terms and all that stuff we did just a few short days ago, and we're going to put it into equation format. All right, so here we go. Let's start out with one like this. We got 3 on the outside of n minus 2 equals 36. Okay, we'll start easy, work our way up to a harder one. Everybody see that? All right. All right, so again, if it was me, okay, I'm going to take that right there, the subtract sign, do a little additive inverse to that. 3 times n, and we got to do 3 times negative 2. Of course, 3 times n is 3n. 3 times negative 2 is negative 6, and we're going to set that equal to 36. So first thing I did is change the subtract sign. Okay, so I did additive inverse first. Second thing I did, distributive property, use my little arrows. So please make sure you do it in that order. Do additive inverse, then distributive property. All right, now of course we're going to do our little thing here. We've been talking about using our little train tracks. Solve this little joker. Now we've got it back to a 2-step equation. So we're going to add 6. And we're going to add 6. Of course, those 6 is 0 out. Trot down to 3n. So we got 3n equals 36 plus 6 is 42. I'm going to divide by 3 on both sides now. Those cancel out, of course, to a 1. And I got, let's see, what is 42 divided by 3? I know that's 11. 14. Okay, n is 14. If you take 14 and put it in there, 14 plus negative 2 would give you 12, and 3 times 12 would give you 36. Okay. All right. So there's one way to work that. Make sure you do additive inverse first, and then distributive property. All right. You ready? Let's try another one. This time, no distributive property, but we do have a bunch of different little stuff going on here. We got to combine together. So let's put this one in here. And take it up just a little bit so you can see it a little bit better. There you go. All right, so again, first thing I'd do if I was you, seek out and search for those subtract signs. I see one there. There's also no number in front of that, so I'm going to put a 1 there, and then I'm going to make that a plus negative, and that's the only one I see. All right, so I got negative 1b plus 8b. Those are my like terms. I'm going to combine those together. Remember, that's a negative, that's a positive, so we're going to subtract them really and take the sign of the bigger number. So negative 1b plus 8b, that is 7b. And then you can just put the minus 9 over here. You can write plus minus 9, plus negative 9, or you can just write minus 9. We can do it either way, it doesn't matter. Same thing either way. And then of course we got equals negative 23, so I'm just bringing that straight down. All right, so combine the like terms into 7b. And then I'm just putting the minus 9 over there, or you can make plus negative 9. Whichever way makes you happy. Makes me happy. All right. Are you happy? I'm happy. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. All right. Very good. Now I'm going to add 9 to cancel that out. And I'm going to add 9 over here. Of course, those cancel out to a 0. All right. So negative 9 plus 9 is nothing. And negative 23 plus 9, if I add that up again, those are different signs. So I'm actually going to subtract them. Take the sign of the bigger number. That'd give me negative 14. And then I'm going to bring down to 7b here. 7b equals negative 14. Now, of course, again, I've got to cancel that out by dividing. So I divide by 7 over there. Divide by 7 over there. By this point, you people should have this down pat. Negative 14 divided by 7. What's a negative divided by a positive? Hopefully, you're telling me it's a negative. So b equals negative what? Negative 2. All right. Negative 2 would be it. All right. So there's that. Now, let's make it a little bit harder. I'm going to put one down here for you to try just for a second. I'm going to put it down. I'm going to leave it quiet for just a second, and then we'll see what you can come up with, okay? So this time, let's say we've got 16 equals 2 on the outside of x minus 1 minus x. All right, we'll give it just a second. You see what you can come up with there on that one. Remember, if it was me, I'd do my additive inverse first and then do my distributive property stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and think about doing all that. I'll give you about 5 more seconds to see what you can come up with. All right, have you got it all figured out? All right, I'm ready now. Here we go. All right, so again, I would take that and make a plus negative out of that. Do a little additive inverse. Also, I don't see a number here, so I'm going to put a 1 in front of it, and I'm going to make that a plus negative. Now it's time to do the distributive property. You ready? 2 times x is 2x. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. And then I'm just going to copy down the plus negative 1x I just did from right there. Let's put the 2x plus the negative 1x. I'm going to combine them together. That only leaves me with 1x. Plus negative 2 equals 16. Again, if you don't like it being written that way, of course, you can take the whole thing and switch it around. You can put that on the left and bring the 16 to the right and just, rotate them around a little bit. But hopefully this don't really bother you. I'm going to add 2 to that side. I'm going to add 2 to that side. Of course, the negative 2 and the 2 cancel out. 16 plus 2 is 18. And I got 1x. And of course, at that point you're done. I mean, if you want to divide by 1, you can. But x is going to equal 18 either way. All right, so there's that. Now, I got a question for you. You ready for today's riddle? All right, let me write it right here. I think the last one I asked you was, if the Lion King recorded a Christmas album, what would he call it? Okay, so that was the last riddle I asked you. And Jungle Balls was the answer I was looking for. I have no idea what y'all ended up sending me because, of course, I haven't got your answers for that yet. But Jungle Balls would be his Christmas album. Get it? Lion King's in the jungle. Yeehaw. All right, let's see. Now, staying on the music theme. All right. What is a reindeer's, that's apostrophe S, favorite instrument? Okay. What is a reindeer's favorite instrument? So if you can tell me what that is, just let me know. I'm looking forward to see what kind of answers I get to that. A reindeer's favorite instrument. All right, there we go. So there's the riddle for today. And it's time to do one more question. Hey, man, we're going to keep this short and sweet today. All right, so again, we're going to go to one of these where we've got to do a little distributive property. So let's say we've got 21 equals, we're going to have a negative 2 out here on the outside, and then 4a plus 6. All right, so this time we're going to make it a little more complicated. All right, now I'm going to look for subtract signs. Do we see any subtract signs anywhere? No, not really. Okay. Now, I'm going to do distributive property. So I'm going to draw my little arrow out there, and I'm going to draw my little arrow out there. Okay? Negative 2 times 4a would give me negative 8a. Negative 2 times 6 is going to give me negative 12. Now again, if you don't like it being written this way, you could take that and put it on the left, and you can take the 21 and put it on the right. Basically just shift everything around. But I'm trying to show you that it doesn't matter either way. You can still work it from where it's at. So my constant here in this problem is negative 12. And to cancel out a negative 12, of course, I am going to add 12. So I'm going to add 12 to that one, and I'm going to add 12 to that one. These, of course, make a 0 pair. I'm canceling them out. 21 plus 12 is 33 equals negative 8a. All right. Now, I'm going to divide by negative 8 on the left and the right. Okay, so whatever I got to do over here on the right side, I got to do the same thing on the left side. Negative 8 divided by negative 8, of course, that just cancels out to a positive 1. Now, 8 does not go into 33 evenly. Okay, so we'll talk about that in a second. So that is a positive divided by a negative. What is a positive divided by a negative going to give you? Hopefully you're going to tell me that that is going to give me a negative. How many times will 8 go into 33? Well, I know 8 times 4 is 32, so it's negative 4. I got 1 left over, so it would be negative 4 1/8 if you had to write it as a fraction. So we are going to get to the point where some of these are not always going to come out to be a nice, even whole number or integer answer. Some of them might have a little fraction part with them, okay? So again, a positive divided by a negative is a negative. 8 goes into 33 4 times, because 8 times 4 is 32. You know, if you do your little thing where you multiply around, 8 times 4 is 32, plus 1 is 33. So you can see that would be negative 4 1/8. Okie dokie. Now, I'm going to come over here to this little page, and I'm going to give you folks, and I'm going to pull off one of the harder ones, all right? So you guys are going to be looking at some problems that look like this. All right, I'm actually going to come down here and do the last one. If you've stayed with me this long, all the way to the 10-minute mark, we're going to go over letter M right here. So thank you. Here's your bonus for sticking with me that long. 8 times 2w minus 6 plus 4 times negative 1 minus 5w equals 0. All right, so that would be that problem right there, the bottom right problem. All right, smart folks, let's see what we can come up with. So I'm looking for my subtract signs, and I see a couple of them in there, so I'm going to make that a plus negative, and I'm going to make that a plus negative, and then that would be using the additive inverse like I talked about on the first problem. We're going to draw out our little arrows and do a little distributive property, so I'll help you out with that. So what's 8 times 2w? So 8 times 2 would be 16w. What's 8 times negative 6? 8 times negative 6 would be negative 48. Okay, so over here on the left, after you do distributive property, you would have 16w plus negative 48. All right, 4 times negative 1 would just be negative 4. 4 times negative 5w would be negative 20w. And again, we're just going to have it set equal to 0 right there. All right, let's put the w's together. So I got 16w plus negative 20w. So those are my like terms. 16 plus negative 20 is negative 4w. Then my constants I've got right here, negative 48 plus 4, they're the same sign, so you just add them together. That's negative 52 equals 0. Now, from here, you got to get rid of the constant. So you got to add 52 to both sides. That cancels them out. Then I got negative 4w equals 52, because 0 plus 52 is just 52. Then, of course, I got to divide, because that's multiply, so I divide by negative 4 there. I divide by negative 4 there. Negative 4 divided by negative 4. Y'all know the drill. That cancels out and equals a 1. What's a positive divided by a negative? That would be a negative. What's 52 divided by 4? I said it goes in there one time. That would be negative 13. All right. So there you go, people. That's how all that works when you got more than one step. Okay. This is a perfect example. You want to change those subtract signs first thing. Do a little additive inverse from them. Then draw your little arrows out there. Do additive distributive property. Then make sure after you do the additive inverse and the distributive property, combine your like terms together. Combine your constants together. And then then when you get down to that, you've got your little two-step equation left like we always do. So, this is adding a couple steps on there. 3 steps, 4 steps, maybe even 5 steps. But it's a multi-step equation. Hope that helps you out. If you know the song, feel free to send me the song title. Okay, while you're dashing through the snow. And if you know the answer to my riddle today, of course, that is what is a reindeer's favorite instrument. You can actually even hear it in this song right here. Until later, peace! Hasta la vista, ciao for now, sayonara, till tomorrow, people. I'm over and out. This is Mr. Reid saying thank you for joining me on today's lesson. This would be the one on multi-step equations. See ya!